Welcome back to Texas Top Homes, where home buying, selling, and financing are all simplified. I'm your host, Freeman Sawyer, and with me as usual is my co-host, Tracy Wiesman. Visiting us today is one of Texas' top realtors, Lucinda Gadson with RE/MAX Pinnacle Group. Lucinda, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Freeman.
So, Lucinda, when you're working with clients, clients have questions all the time, but what are some of the key things that buyers and sellers should be asking you or their agent that they usually don't ask?
For a buyer, I think the most important thing that they should be asking is, what is this going to cost me? Okay? And they may ask, oh, what's the difference between rent and a mortgage payment? And they may ask, oh, what's my credit score have to do with my payments? Which are good questions. I'm not saying they're not. But I think that they should specifically, what is this really going to cost me? So we can go through things like, closing costs. People go, oh, he only said I had to come up with 3.5% down.
Right.
Which really about 7 or 8% down,
Yeah.
And explaining what that goes to, going towards the insurance or the interest, and making sure they understand the difference. And then that rolls into their house payment, right?
Sure.
Right.
And how to keep that low, why it's so important to come back and challenge the taxes, or make sure that they shop for insurance every year, because it's very easy to just roll it into the mortgage every year, right? Inspections and appraisals. I don't think people know they have to pay for an appraisal and they're not ready, but
Sure.
So I think that that's important for them to know that, or and that it's inspected, kind of like the appraisals for selling a home.
Right.
We were talking about if it's so high up. I mean, they have the same information I do, so it's pretty much the same. But
Sure.
But an inspection. I'm not an inspector. I have no freaking idea if something's working right or not.
That's right.
If I turn a switch, it turns on. I think it's working great. Okay. And I'm a salesperson, so I'm going to sell you on that. I need to step out of the house and let a licensed inspector do that.
Do their job.
And, it costs $300 or $500 or whatever it costs.
Sure.
But you're about to have this great investment that you're going to raise your family in. You don't want, it's worth it.
And I look at inspections all the time, and I rarely see an inspection where something wasn't found that needed to be repaired.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I rarely see a perfect one.
Even on new construction.
Yeah. Even on new construction, you're right.
Oh, they forgot to plug in the
Correct.
dishwasher.
Yeah. Little
like,
things. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Another thing they really should ask is, how do I know that I'm not really overpaying for a home? Okay. I think the market analysis, I think your realtor walking through with you, okay, because you're paying all of these things out, like your inspection and your appraisal fees and all these things go out. I think it's very important for the realtor to go through all the houses that were sold in the area, how much it can appraise for, what would be taken off for the electricity pole in the backyard or the school across the street or whatever, being on a busy street or whatever it is. And really looking at a fair price to give a good offer, right?
Yep.
And to give the most aggressive offer. If you're buying your home, this is not the time to be wheeling and dealing. This is the time to think of where you want to raise your children. With that being said. And then we have the appraisal. The mortgage company is not going to let you overpay for a house. They're not going to.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
And
We're not going to loan too much money on it.
Yeah, you're not going to give the money. That's true. I like to think of it as a protection, but you're right. You're not going to give the money on something that's not worth it.
That's right.
So I think that it's important to ask for the realtor for your realtor to talk to you about what your journey is going to be. The whole and complete process.
Sure.
It's very emotional. It's very scary. If anything could go wrong, it will go wrong. And to have somebody walk you through the journey, to be prepared for it, I think that that's important also, to ask that question.
Yes. Real estate transactions always have some peaks and valleys. They have a few bumps in there, right? It's how we all deal with them. It's how it always works out okay.
Yes.
That's right.
Lucinda, if somebody wants to list their house or have them show you a house, what's your website?
LUSellshomes.com.
And if they want to call you direct, set an appointment?
214-463-9255.